Now, are you ready to play the Rugby League game show, Cameron?
Okay. Yes.
This is
I don't know, but yes, here we go.
Well, you're not sure if you are. Well, that's one of the answers. You can be yes, no, or maybe. Copes and I have already done it, but Copes, you can sit in the chair again and relay your predictions for our audience joining us from Queensland. We're talking about after the weekend. We went into a weekend with a top 8 that excluded the Cowboys. So 5 of the top 8 lost over the weekend.
Yes.
What most of us thought was a race in 9 for the top 8 has opened the door again for the Knights, Sea Eagles and Roosters. They're all within 2 of the 8. So now we've got a race in 12. I don't know whether the Titans, Dolphins, you're not prepared to say. They're 4 points out of the 8 now. Too many teams in front of them, I think. Hard to see them contending. So out of the 12, we now need to get serious, Cameron. It is yes, no, maybe on the subject of can they actually win the title.
Wow.
So yes, they're all contenders for the 8.
Yes.
But let's talk about genuine contenders to win the competition.
Okay.
And I'm giving you a little bit of slack. I'm cutting you a bit of slack. You can go maybe with 6 rounds to go. All right.
Okay.
So the yes, no, maybe game. Dan,
You're a generous
are you ready?
host.
Lieutenant Dan, ready with his sound effects?
Yep, ready to go.
Have we come up with something for maybe yet?
No, we have not.
Can we record someone just going, meh? If you maybe. All right. Let's start with the Panthers, top of the table. Yes, no, maybe to win the comp. Cameron?
Yes. That's a definite yes.
Copes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's big time.
We're yes all round. Incredibly, they might win 3 in a row. The Brisbane Broncos, level on 32 points. Yes, no, maybe, Cameron.
I'm going
to
to
win
say
the comp.
I'm going to say yes they can, Vossy.
Yes, they can. Copes.
Yeah, it was a yes from me too.
I've got yes. I think there's still improvement left in the Broncos. Kevy Walters' great win over the Rabbitohs the other night. Now, the Warriors on the surge. On the surge. 12th win of the season. Sitting on 28 points. 3rd on the ladder. Yes, no, maybe to the Warriors, Cameron.
Listen, I'm going to give the Warriors a maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Ding.
Copes.
Mine was a no. I think it's
Okay.
been incredible. And Sean Johnson, unbelievable, but I don't think they could do it.
You're kidding, Coops.
Oh,
What
no.
are you saying, cuz?
Sorry, SENZ. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I've got Warriors maybe because, again, I think they're still improving. I think they're
Yes.
getting better.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
bit of momentum. Storm. Oh, yeah. Cameron Smith. Yes, no, maybe on the Melbourne Storm. Just beaten
geez.
by the Knights.
Well,
beaten by the
puts
Knights,
a little
Cameron.
that puts a little dent in the premiership contention. Listen, I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Coach.
Yes, they
Yes.
can.
Yes from me too.
I've got a maybe on the Storm. By the way, I only just thought of it. Isn't it funny how things come back to you? That open mic moment for Christian Welsh.
Yeah.
Before the media conference.
Did
he
you
said,
see his
Can you
tweet?
believe the Knights lost to Penrith?
Yes.
Did you
And
see
they
his
beat
tweet?
nobody.
Melbourne. Yeah, nobody. They had nobody. Well, who beat Melbourne over the weekend? The Knights.
Yeah,
I saw-
Coach, he
I saw him
he
tweet
tweeted,
about
didn't
it.
he?
Yeah, he said,
Yes.
he responded to a fan who cited that moment, Vossy, and he said, yep, fair play, handshake emoji. They played very well. I'm now 0-2 from that press conference. Best of luck for the rest of the season. Very good. He's brilliant on Twitter. Love his work.
Very good, very good. All right, so we move on to the Canberra Raiders. Bit of a setback from that Golden Point loss. Jared Croker kicks from the sideline. The Raiders are outright third. Like, they're one kick away from being outright third and 2 points off the competition lead. Are they a yes, no, maybe to win the comp, Cameron?
I'm going to say no.
It's a no from me too.
Well, Ricky's going to love this. I'm going to say no as well.
Oh, no.
He'll play this. This will be played to the Raiders this week. See what they're saying? These blokes, they hate us. They're playing Newcastle at GIO Stadium this week. Their draw's okay, but we've got them as no to win the competition. Next up, you talk about snakes and ladders. Man,
Yes.
on the snake, Cronulla, and a big snake. They're on decline. Do you have them yes, no, maybe to win the comp, the Cronulla Sharks?
Vossy, I'm going to say no, they are gone.
Wow. Gone. Okay.
Gone.
Missing the 8 gone or just can't win?
Boys, looking at their run home, I think if they win, like with the form they're in at the moment, they could possibly only win 2 matches out of their remaining games.
They have
be out of
one
the
bye
8
to go, is
next
that
week.
right?
No, they're done, mate.
They're done.
Their
Their
buys
buys.
are
They've
done.
had their buys, yep.
They got to play.
Wow.
They got to play 6. They got to play out the 6 games, and there's some pretty good matchups there. Oh, they play the
Penrith.
Bunnies. They play Penrith. They play
Penrith Saturday
Canberra.
Oof.
They play. Yeah,
Certainly the way they're playing as well. The game on
that's
the
what I mean,
weekend.
mate.
That's why I'm going to say no. Is the weekend?
Yeah.
Let alone the last couple of weeks, but it just seems like everything is out of whack.
Yeah. Well, it's a no because of the form they're in right now, and their record against top 8 sides awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, I mean, I hate to call it like it is, but you can't win the comp from outside the 8.
Well, that's right. That's right. That's my point,
So there
Fozzie.
are no.
That's my point.
Groundbreaking stuff here on Breakfast with
obvious
Vossy, Brandy and Copes.
Yeah, there's exclusive.
And
You
Cam.
can't win the comp from outside the 8. Clickbait headlines are plenty. Cowboys. Now, when you talk about your snakes and your ladders, the Cowboys are on the ladder. Certainly not the snake. But is the form good enough to say they can win the comp? Yes, no, maybe. Cowboys.
Maybe.
I'll say maybe as well.
I'm saying yes.
You're
Cowboys
saying
have
yes,
got points in
Vossy?
them. Yeah, I've got the Cowboys can win the comp.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I'm sort of half pie on the Cowboys bus. I think they beat the Titans this weekend. They play Sunday against the Titans. That will have the Cowboys rock solid on 28 points, and maybe only with 2 or 3 teams ahead of them. So I think absolutely. I think the top 4 is a chance.
Yeah.
Cowboys make the top 4. I'm fearing them. You know.
Wow. Yeah.
I think they're going to make the top 4.
I'm interested in your opinion here, Cam. The only reason I say maybe and not yes, because their form's incredible. But I think about a grand final against the Panthers, for example.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking of. Could they beat them? I just don't see how they could beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
That's why I say maybe.
Yeah, and they'd have to be at their absolute best, I believe, the Cowboys, to be any chance. And that's why I've got them as a maybe in the same category as the Warriors. So they're a similar team, right? When they're in that white-hot form, they are irresistible. They play so well they can beat anyone on their day. If they're slightly off, though, I just don't know whether they can beat the top teams like a Penrith or a Broncos at the moment.
Ricky Stewart's been in on the text. You 3 Muppets clearly don't do well at tipping comps. Thank you, Ricky, for that text. He's straight on. We move on to the Parramatta Eels, sitting on 24 competition points after the weekend, losing to the Cowboys up in Townsville. Yes, no, maybe for the beaten grand finalists of last year.
I've got no as well.
No.
Okay. See, I've gone yes. I think if they get on a roll, I've got Parramatta still. I still think they got something sneaky. Huge game Friday night. Maybe they'll go from a yes to a maybe to a no if they lose to Melbourne.
Yeah.
But Parramatta Melbourne this week is a massive game for those two sides in the 8.
Vossy, is there a chance though this is another team like the Sharks?
Can't win from outside the 8.
Well, yeah. There's a strong possibility. Like with their run home, it's they got Melbourne in Melbourne. Then they have a softer game against St George, but then they've got the Broncos, Roosters, Penrith, and they finish with a bye.
That's what I'm thinking.
That bye might just get them in the top 8.
Then their momentum. That's anyway.
Hey, Vossy, there's a text here for you. No way Wests can put 50 plus on a team that goes on to win the comp. Put the pipe down, Vossy. It's Monday morning.
So we're talking the Cowboys there.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Yes.
They're in here, Vossy.
Rewrite it. It was always no teams conceded 50 and won the comp, but the fact is they conceded 60. Maybe it doesn't apply if you concede more than 60. You can win the comp. I don't know. South Sydney Rabbitohs, they are now out of the 8 on for and against.
Wow.
Their defence is turned to pulp, really. They are conceding a lot of points. Since round 12, you look at a bar graph of South's defence up to round 12, and since they're living in a little tent village up until round 12. Now they're living in a world of skyscrapers. The points conceded is big every week. South's yes, no, maybe.
Well, was that the Parramatta game, Vossy? So they were looking for 7 consecutive wins, I think, and then they had 30 put on them by Parramatta at where was it? At Allianz, I think it was. Yeah, and they've just gone downhill from there. So look, I'm going to go maybe. I tell you what they need. They need Latrell Mitchell back.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm a yes because I think their best game on the biggest day is good enough to to beat anyone, I reckon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go Rabbitohs yes on that attacking can scare sides. Now the others, the Knights are 1 point out of the 8 after the weekend, and their attacks come good. Yes, no, maybe.
No.
No. Go to the Knights to win the comp. Copes?
Oh, I'm a no.
Breaking the hearts of Newcastle. I'm a no as well. Adam O'Brien, pull out the daggers. Sea Eagles, winners yesterday, raced a 30-0 lead, almost got run down, incredibly. Yes, no, maybe, Sea Eagles?
No.
No.
And no from me. And the Roosters, still in with a chance. Rousing form against the Titans. It was 36-0 through 46 minutes. Yes, no, maybe for Trent Robinson's side. To win the comp.
No.
No to win the comp. Copes?
It's a no from me either.
Roosters, man. I'm going to put maybe. I'm going to say Roosters, again, this week play Brisbane. If they come good, if they beat Brisbane, suddenly go, maybe they do need to be looked at. So I've got a maybe for this week. Lose to Brisbane, they probably go to a no. But beat Brisbane up to 24, I've got them. They make the 8. They've got enough, star players there. Maybe they come good. Maybe they get the momentum. So there it is. That is our yes, no, maybe game. We'll compare that in a fortnight's time. We'll probably.
I barely remember what we just said, let alone a fortnight.
I've kept notes. Well done, fellas. Well done. What do you think of that? You can text in your opinion 0457 736 736. This one, the Warriorholic, who calls us regularly, as you know, Cameron, he says, boys, I love how you're all waiting for the Warriors to fall over. We're getting a lot of our key players back from injury. With all our suspensions and injuries, most of our first-choice side are relatively fresh compared to teams stacked full of Origin players. I think we have every chance of breaking the drought. Up the wires.
Wow.
Warriorholic, Cameron.
I don't think we're waiting for the Warriors to fall over, are we?
No, not at all.
I'm loving what the Warriors are doing. I've been on the bandwagon from quite early in the season. Actually, in fact, when I watched them, I actually watched them play live against the Melbourne Storm on Anzac Day. They got beaten that night, but the way that they played, they flew out of the blocks. Then they copped a couple of injuries, plus they got one of their players got 10 in the bin. I think it might have been, was it Dylan Walker? He might have got 10 in the bin.
I think you're right,
and
yes.
It went downhill from there, and the Storm finished strongly. And, well, they won the match, but it wasn't a convincing win. But from that moment, when I watched them live, they were playing some good footy before that, but watching them live, I thought, this is a serious footy team on our hands this year. Yeah,
and I reckon they got some of the best players in the comp in each position. Like SJ having one of the best seasons of his career, Adam Fanua-Blake and his impact in games every week, scoring tries. Yep. And then Chance Nickel-Clockstad at the back has been one of the form fullbacks in the competition. So I love watching them play. Up-tempo, good fun to watch.
Yeah, and you throw in guys like Tohu Harris and DWZ, like they've got strike all over the park.
Don't know what Tenny's he's on fire. Quick call before a break, Cameron. This is all yours. This is the Rabbit from Paddington. Wants to fire something at you.
Morning, Rabbit.
Good morning, Cameron. When I did something really stupid in Italian, my dad would say, "Gutta poto, gutta poto." That means, who told you to go there? Who told you to do that? I say a gutta poto at South management for taking a South home game to Sunshine Coast in the heart of Broncos territory. Gutta poto. Who told you to do that? When two competition points?
Yeah, you're right.
Gutta poto.
You're right. It's a strange one, isn't it? Like, and it was the chat earlier in the year too about the Broncos, how they've rarely had to jump on a plane and leave Queensland.
No.
They played a lot of even
and for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so but the Rabbitohs, they're doing that. I think another 2 or 3 times before the season's out. Vossi, isn't that right?
They're going to Cairns, they're going to Perth.
They're going to Cairns, they're going to Perth. I think this week.
Wilburys.
Although it's the West Tigers, it's the West Tigers home game. They're playing.
Tamworth?
Tamworth. Yeah, so they're ask the Leyland brothers.
Great call, Rabbit. Great call. No wonder you're a previous winner of Caller of the Month. That's outstanding area. South Sydney from Sunshine Coast, go to Tamworth, to Perth, to Cairns and Newcastle. Get the buy in round 26 just to get over jet lag. We'll take a break. This is Breakfast with Vossi and Copes and Cameron here on the home of sport, SEN.